general characteristics of angiosperms. Double fertilization I told you about. Then I had also told you about monocotyledons and dicotyledons differences. We'll be further studying in detail in the morphology of flowering plants. Already I have studied about it. Now, the life cycle of angiosperms we had been left out there. If you look into the angiosperms, I had already told you that sporophytic generation is dominant, gametophytic generation is short-lived. Okay? So if you look into this plant, we'll begin it from the plant. The plant has two types of reproductive organs, androecium and gynoecium. Gynoecium is collection of carpels. They have an ovary style stigma, you know about that. Ovary has ovule within it. Ovule has embryo sac. Okay? The male reproductive organ has collection, androecium collection of stamens. Stamen has anther, connective filament. Anther, within that it has pollen grain. So the male gametophyte develops from this microspore mother cells. They undergo meiosis to form 4 microspores. These are microspores. Okay? So you have to remember what are these? Microspores, and they develop to form the pollen grain with outer exide, inner intine. The pollen grain, we call it as male gametophyte. They are all haploid. You have to remember this is haploid, this is haploid. But they have within them a vegetative nucleus and 2 sperm cells. In case of 3-cell pollen grain, a vegetative nucleus and 2 sperm cells are there within the pollen grain. The pollen grain, on falling onto their stigma, they undergo germination to produce pollen tube. The contents of the pollen tube, that is the vegetative nucleus and 2 sperm cells, are brought to the embryo sac of the ovule by the growth of pollen tube. Germination of pollen grain over the germination of pollen grain. Okay? So the pollen tube grows, or next year we will be having that microfiltration. Pollen tube grows and the pollen contents are brought to the synergids. So the egg cell, one of these sperm cell fuses with the egg cell, another sperm cell fuses with this 2 polar nuclei. When they fuse, we call it a secondary nucleus. So all this secondary nucleus plus sperm cell, when they fuse, they are going to form triploid pen. After fertilization, they form triploid pen, and this forms the zygote. The egg cell forms the zygote after fusion with one of the sperm cell. Now this zygote they develop to form the embryo within the seed. The seed on germination they form the plant. That is the sporophytic plant body. So this is the female reproductive organ pistil, male stamen. So you should understand about that. Within this ovule, the megaspore mother cell, they undergo division to form the embryo sac. Embryo sac is called as female gametophyte. The microspore, after division, we call this as male gametophyte. Microspores in the male gametophyte are the embryo sac is the female gametophyte, where they have this 8-cell, 7-cell, 8-nucleate stage of the chemical. 7-cell, 8-nucleate stage, which we'll discuss in detail in the next academic year in the sexual reproduction of flowering plants. As of now, there is double fertilization. One of the sperm cell fuses with the egg cell. So we call that as syngamy process. Another sperm cell fuses with the polar nuclei. We call it as triple fusion. Ivedu agirutte. 2 sperm cells, 2 fusions, so we call it as double fertilization. One of the fertilization, syngamy agid takshana adu enagutte, zygote agi develop agutte, zygote enagutte, embryo agutte. Ade innond sperm cell polar nuclei jothe fuse agadu, they form primary endosperm nucleus and they develop to form the endosperm. In coconut I told you the fluid as well as the cellular endosperm. So you have to understand about that. Endosperm is similar to yolk of egg. Birds egg iddange, yolk iddange. They provide nutrient for the developing embryo. Okay? So seed formation and the embryo will be within the seed. Dicots are 2 cotyledons, so monocots are 1 cotyledon, and they develop to form the plant. So this is what is the life cycle of an angiosperm. that you have to remember. They might ask you to draw diagram also. So that's the reason I have told you now. Now life cycles in the entire plant kingdom, there is a variation. The pattern of life cycle is of three types: haplontic, diplontic, haplo-diplontic. I have shaded the blue zone is nothing but blue color shade ಮಾಡಿರೋದೆಲ್ಲ sporophytic region. I have named it also as A region. You might see everywhere A ಅಂತ ಬರೆದಿದೆ ಆ region. Sporophytic region. Haplontic life cycle ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ haploid stage is dominant. You find it in algae like wallbox, Spirogyra, Chlamydomonas. Some of the algae like you find majorly in algae. And here sporophytic generation is only present in one stage, zygote stage. Sporophyte is present only as a single cell diploid zygote. In one stage sporophyte. Immediately meiosis ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Meiosis ಆಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ spores ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ spores ಎಲ್ಲ haploid. That haploid spores develop to form gametophyte plant. Gametophyte plant, they produce two types of gametes, male and female gametes, and they are going to fuse, and that process we call it as fusion of gametes. What do we call it as? Syngamy. And this syngamy leads to the formation of zygote. In haplontic life cycle pattern, the haploid stage is dominant. Diploid stage is present only in the zygote stage. Only single stage is present in haplontic life cycle as diploid, that is a single cell zygote. ಯಾವ examples ನೀವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು haplontic life cycle? In Chlamydomonas, wallbox, okay, Spirogyra. These are the examples for the haplontic life cycle. Gametogenesis ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Genesis ಅಂದ್ರೆ development. Gametogenesis ಅಂದ್ರೆ formation of gametes. Male gamete, female gamete ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Male gamete, female gamete, they fuse. ಆ fusion ಏನಂತೀವಿ? Syngamy ಅಂತೀವಿ. Syngamy ನಲ್ಲಿ the product is zygote, which is diploid. ಇದು ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Sporophytic stage is highly reduced to only a zygote stage. Next to diplontic stage, as the name indicates, diploid stages are predominant in this life cycle. Diplontic stage is seen in seeded plants, spermatophytes. Sperma means seed, phyte means plants. Plants which are produced from seeds or seeded plants. There are only two seeded plant varieties in the plant kingdom. What are those? Gymnosperms, angiosperms. Gymnosperms is naked seeded. Angiosperms is seeds are enclosed by fruit or ovary wall. So, the diploid life cycle is found in a few of the algae like fucus. Fucus is algae. Spermatophytes are seed-bearing plants. See here, what you have to remember about is, listen here carefully. Spermatophytes are seed-producing plants. Gymnosperms, angiosperms, stages are the variety of plants are in diplontic life cycle. Sporophytic generation is dominant. Diploid stage is dominant. Let us begin from the zygote stage. Zygote diploid ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. It undergoes divisions and mitosis ಅಂತೀವಿ. Mitosis can happen in haploid as well as diploid cells. Meiosis can always happen only in diploid cells. ಅದು ನೀವು ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Mitosis can happen in haploid or diploid cells, but meiosis will always happen only in diploid cells. Okay, so mitosis agi they develop to form the sporophytic plant body. The plant body in gymnosperm or angiosperm, leaf, stem, ivella ಏನದು sporophytic part of it. Shoot system, root system, they are the sporophytic part of it. So now this sporophyte, they undergo gametogenesis. Flower ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ prothallus ಇರುತ್ತೆ. In case of cycas ಅಲ್ಲಿ gymnosperms ಅಲ್ಲಿ strobili ಅಥವಾ cones ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Male cone, female cone. ಅಲ್ಲಿ gametogenesis ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Gametogenesis ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Production of gametes. Gametogenesis ಆದಾಗ meiosis ಮೂಲಕ there is a formation of gametes. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Gametes ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ gamete stage ಒಂದೇ haploid. Immediately gametes ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Fuse to form the zygote. Syngamy ಆಗಿ zygote ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬರೀ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದರಲ್ಲಿ? ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಡ್ಯೂರೇಷನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟೋಫಿಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ಈ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟೋಫೈಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟೋಫೈಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಮೈಕ್ರೋಸ್ಪೋರ್ ಆರ್ ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೇನ್. Female gametophyte andre we are talking about embryo sac. This is the embryo sac. Egg apparatus, antipodal cells, two polar nuclei. This entire thing is female gametophyte. So it's very reduced. So gametes agid takshana, fusion agid takshana matte diploid stage hoಗುತ್ತೆ. So this we call it as diplontic life cycle. So which is found in gymnosperms, angiosperms, fucus. Fucus is a type of algae. Okay, whereas Haplo-diplontic you find this in bryophytes, pteridophytes, then it's also found in ectocarpus, which is an algae, as well as Polycyphonia. Ectocarpus is Pheophyceae, brown algae. Polycyphonia is Rhodophyceae, red algae. Examples ಎಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. So bryophytes, pteridophytes, ectocarpus, Polycyphonia algae, they exhibit this Haplo-diplontic cycle. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟೋಫೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ನೋಡಬಹುದು, ಸ್ಪೋರೋಫೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟೋಫೈಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ಯಾವುದದು? ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಇತ್ತು, ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್. ಈಗ ಬೋತ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ equally distributed in the alternation of generation. You find in all the plant kingdoms, from algae to the angiosperms, there is alternation of generation. Gametophytic generation, sporophytic generation. The bryophytes are already discussed ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ. Gametophytic generation is dominant ಮತ್ತೆ independent, photosynthetic, multicellular. You can notice that as gametophyte is dominant. A sporophyte which produces spores, it is dependent upon this gametophytic plant. They are partially dependent or completely dependent. It is not independent. Sporophyte is partially or completely dependent on gametophyte. So this is what is the alternation of generation in bryophytes. Pteridophytes are haplo-diplontic irutte. Adre yav dominant irutte? Sporophytic generation dominant irutte. Gametophytic generation prothallus anta helide nimage. It is almost like this sort of structure anta helide. Xyloid structure, prothallus. So it is reduced. But ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಏನು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾದ್ರೆ gametophyte is not dependent on sporophyte. It is independent. But short-lived stage. ಇದೇ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇರೋದು. ಎರಡು haplo-diplontic. ಆದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಜನರೇಷನ್ ಯಾವ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ bryophytes ಅಲ್ಲಿ? gametophyte. pteridophytes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಡಾಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ? sporophyte. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಇಂದ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಫೈಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಪೋರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್. ಆ ಸ್ಪೋರೋಫೈಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ದೇ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಮಿಯೋಸಿಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್. ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ದೇ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ gametophyte. Gametophyte plant body now it undergoes gametogenesis to produce gametes. Male gamete, female gamete produce ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅವೆರಡು ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್. ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಏನಂತೀವಿ? ಹ್ಯಾಪ್ಲೋ-ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್. Key points for all this are given. Have you understood about it? So life cycle patterns in plant kingdom is of three types: haplontic life cycle, diplontic life cycle, haplo-diplontic life cycle. In haplontic life cycle, diploid stage is reduced. You cannot see a dominant spore stage there. Zygote is diploid. So where do you find haplontic life cycle? In case of Chlamydomonas, the volvox, then Spirogyra. You can notice that. Diplontic life cycle alli haploid stage is reduced only to gametes, whereas majority of the life cycle diploid stage irutte. You can notice that in seed bearing plants. What are the seed bearing plants? Gymnosperms and angiosperms. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಈ ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಡಿಪ್ಲಾಂಟಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ಯಾಮೆಟೋಫಿಟಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿರಲ್ಲ, ಫ್ಲವರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೇಲ್ ಕೋನ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಕೋನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಪೋಲನ್ ಗ್ರೈನ್ and embryo sac are the reduced gametophyte cell. So gametes matra you nodboladi. So very much reduced haploid stage there. Whereas haplo-diplontic, you can see it in bryophytes and pteridophytes. You can see a separate gametophyte plant, separate sporophyte plant. But haplo-diplontic ಅಲ್ಲಿ haploid stage equal ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ life cycle ಅಲ್ಲಿ, diploid stage equal ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎರಡು equal ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತೀವಿ, we call this, since they have equal stages in haploid and diploid, we call it as haplo-diplontic life cycle. Bryophytes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇರುತ್ತೆ haplo-diplontic ಮತ್ತೆ pteridophytes? Bryophytes ಅಲ್ಲಿ gametophytic is dominant. Sporophyte in bryophytes is depending partially or completely on gametophyte. Whereas pteridophytes ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, sporophytic generation is dominant. Gametophyte ಇರುತ್ತೆ but independent. They are not dependent on sporophyte. They are photosynthetic. They can produce their own food. Multicellular. Okay. So ಇದೇ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಇರೋದು. Ectocarpus and polycyphornia ಅಂತೂ haplo-diplontic life cycle. ಇದು 5 marks ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ with diagram. ಇಷ್ಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೇ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. It's not very difficult, very easy topic. Many times they have asked us for 5 mark questions with the simple cycles. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಬಟ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay, life cycle of that. So that completes our discussion on plant kingdom. In the next class, we'll commence with kingdom Animalia.